Hello there. Dying, apparently. Take two. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Nickelodeon Month. Day number 3. We are on the Rugrats movie. Originally, I thought it was the Rugrats the movie, but it's the Rugrats movie. Coming out in 1998. And, yeah. Bit of background because I might do this with a lot of these. Really hearing on them. Rugrats was a TV show, one of the first Nicktoons, along with Doug, Ren and Stimpy, and All Real Monsters that came out. I don't know. They came out back in 1991. I think it was just Doug, Ren, and Stimpy, and this that came out. And it was the first Nicktoon. It's the first film based on a Nicktoon, and it's about a bunch of babies who have big imaginations and go on adventures that really aren't as far away from home as they think they are. And it was a long-running animated series on Nickelodeon. And in 1998, they made a movie. Actually, they prefaced this by having an episode in which Dee Dee tells Stu that she's pregnant. That's the mom. That's Tommy's mom. Tells Stu that she's pregnant, and that sets up this movie. So, we have the babies. Tommy, his best friend Chucky, their friends Phil and Lil, the twins. Tommy's cousin Angelica, and their friend Susie. Susie is sort of a side character, although the new version made her a main character, which is fine. At least they didn't just make up a character to go with the characters that already been there. Mortal Kombat. But, yeah. Yeah. And so Stu and Dee Dee are the parents of Tommy, and then you have Charlotte and Drew Pickles, the parents of Angelica. Stu and Drew are brothers. Their father, Lou Pickles, is in every episode, and he is the most absent-minded babysitter they ever have. He's always falling asleep. One of my great memories of Grandpa is not even when I was a kid, because I don't remember a lot of things, but it was as an adult. I was here with my friend Eric, and we were watching this on that 90s or All That, or the Splat, whatever it was called at the time. And in an episode where Grandpa is just telling a story, and he's trying to put firewood in the fireplace, but the cover for it was closed, and he's talking away, and he's hitting it, and Dee Dee just comes in, unlocks the thing, and opens it, and he just keeps on and going, and it makes me laugh my ass off. And Grandpa is, I always said that Chucky's my favorite character, but watching this movie, at least in this movie, Grandpa's my favorite character. He is fantastic. But in 1998, there was a bit of a shakeup. They decided to produce a movie, and not only that, they introduced a new character. As aforementioned, as mentioned before, Dee Dee was pregnant. And thus, she gives birth to baby Dill. Dill Pickles. Ha! Ha! And so, this kind of echoed real life stuff for me, because in 1998, I already had a sister, but I got a little brother in 1998, later that year, in March, I think August, early in the year, I guess, March of 1998. So I had to get my little brother before this, and then Rugrats, little brother. So yeah, so the movie entails the birth of that brother and an adventure where they get lost in the woods, and parents have to try to find them. It's very weird. It's very homeward bound if you think about it. I should also mention I have a dog named Spike, because he's in the movie. So yeah. So we start off with first of all, before I get into the movie, I guess I want to talk about the soundtrack to this movie. I love this soundtrack. Okay? I love it. I had this soundtrack on cassette tape back in the day. I listened to it on my Walkman. Yeah. And I listened to it. I listened to a couple songs this morning too, and I was like, still enjoy it, man. There was a song by Lisa Loeb called All Day that they played a music video for on Nickelodeon all the time. Also, the song "Take Me There" by Blackstreet and Maya, they also played a music video for constantly. So, you know. And then there's other versions. There's Debo sings a version of Witch Doctor, which is based on the monkeys that the characters meet in the woods there. You're thinking, how's there monkeys in the woods? We'll get to that. And there's a song by Busta Rhymes, On Your Mark, Get Set, Ready, Go, or something like that. And yeah, bunch of cool songs. There's some sung by the cast, like "A Baby Is a Gift from a Bob," and "Yo Yo Yo Ho Ho and a Bottle of Yum." You mean, wait a minute, isn't it? No, but isn't that no? Trust me, that's what it is. So let's get to the movie. It starts with a fantasy of basically it's Indiana Jones, or Okie Dokie Jones, as Tommy calls it. It's narrated by Chucky, and I forgot this movie was narrated by Chucky, and you kind of sort of forget when he in the movie too, but it's only at the beginning and the end. So Chucky narrates this. And, oh, that's my best friend Tommy. I guess I should go through the voice cast. Tommy is voiced by E.G. Daily. Chucky is voiced by the late Christine Cavanaugh. Rest in peace. I remember. Phil, Lil, and Betty DeVille are voiced by Kath Soucie. Cheryl something or other voices Angelica. Cree Summer voices Susie, and the late Joe Lasky voices Grandpa. And I should mention that Dill is voiced by Tara Strong, then known as Tara Chardanoff, whatever. Charendoff. And we have guest voices in this. Tim Curry plays Les Pastor, something like that. He's the news reporter guy. And Busta Rhymes voices the Reptar mobile thing that they drive around in. Whoopi Goldberg and David Spade play a couple of park rangers. Yeah, there's a pair. And I can't remember the other ones, but yeah. So, Chucky narrates an Indiana Jones adventure that ends with them actually being at a baby shower for Dee Dee, who's going to give birth to a baby girl. I always found this confusing as to why, they say it's a baby girl. If you watch the trailers, if you watch Nickelodeon even, you knew it was going to be a boy. Why try to throw a swerve in with, it's going to be a baby girl? And like, wait, even when I watched this back in 99 or whatever, when we rented the VHS, I'm like, girl? Why are they saying it's a girl? All over the place, it's a boy. All over the place, it's a boy. Angelica tells Tommy, though, and it's a nod back to one of her episodes of the show, where she says that when the new baby is born, they're going to forget all about Tommy, which nods back to an episode where she thinks that her mom is pregnant, and so that when the new baby comes, they're going to forget all about her. There's even a fantasy dream thing that she has about this big baby coming into her life and taking over, and she's ignored, and it's a big... People say this is one of the scariest things in the show, the scariest dream sequence in the show. I still say it's Adatani, which is a nightmare that Chucky has, where he's creeped out and he says Tommy, and just distorted Tommy with a big nose, and I'm not Tommy. That scared the crap out of me. Then they do it later. I'm not Stu. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but I'm not Tommy. I got like dry skin. Yeah, I got dry skin, so it itches. See how red it is. So so that nods back to her episode in the show, and So yeah, she says that, and then she hears Susie start to sing the song, like "Baby's a Gift from Above." So she comes in, and she ruins it, where Susie's singing nice stuff like a birdie singing in a tree. And then Jekyll comes in and says, "More like Reptar, screaming in your ear." Oh, in case you're wondering, I should mention, you're wondering, what's Reptar? Reptar is their version of Godzilla, basically. It's Reptar. Basically. Uh, but, yeah. So, during this, though, abruptly at the end, Dee Dee goes into labor. And so they have to take her to the hospital, and there's a goat at the house because the in-laws, Dee Dee's parents, who are Jewish, Russian, German, I don't know, Jewish German people, Jewish, I think they're Jewish most likely, brought a goat, I guess, and yeah, so they go to the hospital, we get another song with the babies. Their babies don't understand where babies come from, so they must not keep their memories of coming out of the womb. Well, maybe it wears off after a while because there's some babies. And I find it contradicting here, all right? Find a bunch of babies in the nursery, right? And they're singing with regular voices, and yet Dill can only go, "Poopy," and that's all he really does for his run of the show is weird things like that. He doesn't have a regular speaking voice. But these babies who are also just born have normal voices, voiced by celebrities. And we get Something New to Me song, which is a funny song, I think. The first song. And then Grandpa finds them and takes them out, our babies. And yeah, so now it's parents dealing with something that I know about, constant crying and trying to get baby to sleep and that sort of stuff. And that's taking time away from Tommy, who is feeling neglected. And so it goes back to what Angelica said. But Stu gives Tommy this pocket watch with a picture of him and Dill in it, Tommy and Dill in it. So this is your responsibility as a big brother now, kind of like how he's like a big brother and everything. He's been fighting with his brother, so it sort of parallels that. But I should also mention that there's a plot line which is dropped because it's only there to set up that they have this. But Stu he's an inventor. He doesn't have a real job. He's an inventor, and he's making a Reptar mobile so that he can win this contest of some sort. Selling toys to a toy line, and he makes it, and he has it set up so they can get, put in a box and sent out. But they're messing around with it, and all the babies go off in the Reptar car while Grandpa's asleep, of course. And then the goat gets in the box and ends up getting. It's not shown because it's a joke for later, but we found out the goat was in the box and got sent. It's like, "Oh, we found a kid, but I don't think it's what you're looking for." And it's a goat kid. Get it? Although I don't think it's a baby goat, so it doesn't really make that sense. But funny. And then Dee Dee comes home, and we get a wonderful Grandpa line where he goes, "Einstein here lost the kids," and Stu's like, "I lost the kids. See?" And then Dee Dee drops the baby food and stuff, and yeah. So the babies are off on an adventure through the woods and accidentally take Cynthia, that is this world's version of Barbie, Angelica's Cynthia, with them. So Angelica enlists Spike to be her butt hound. Let me explain. She is watching Shirley Holmes Girl Detective. See that? Nickelodeon was on the Sherlock Holmes' daughter thing before Netflix was. But yeah, and so she they often get words wrong. So she enlists Spike to be her bloodhound, but she calls him butthound, which it's funny. Spike, you're my butthound. So they take off to try to find the babies, right? Now I have to explain the monkeys, okay? Apparently there was a circus train that derailed when monkeys somehow took over the train and caused it to crash. And so now there are monkeys in the woods as well. So they end up in the woods, and the monkeys are there, and we get the Witch Doctor song, this version of the Witch Doctor song. And yeah, monkeys steal Dill, and because everyone is angry at Dill right now, except for Tommy, they walk away from it. And Phil and Lil want nothing to do with Dill, and Chucky won't go after Dill because when they were in trouble, Tommy did the right thing and protected his little brother and not Chucky. So Chucky's now feeling neglected. So Chucky turns on Tommy for a little bit here. But then they go back on it and they save them. Because the monkeys want Dill because they spilled the banana-flavored baby food all over. So that's why. And one monkey is left behind, so they try to replace him and it doesn't work. And they said, oh, you turned my baby into a monkey. And then Phil and Lil kind of, no, monkeys took them. And, well, Angelica's still trying to find them. She sings the song one way or another, but it makes it about getting Cynthia back. And, pretty funny. Stupid, drooly, poopy, diaper back. I just want my Cynthia dolly back. So, the adults decide to try to find the babies. Stu decides he's got this Dactar toy that he shows earlier in the movie, which sets up for this. And he's flying around trying to find the kids, but of course, Stu's mentioned, so it doesn't work completely the way I want to. Plus, you have the reporter, Pester, trying to report on the news when the crash into him. He falls down. Meanwhile, the babies are also trying to find the lizard. They mean wizard, because they think it's like the Wizard of Oz. They keep going to the woods, they'll find a wizard, or the lizard, and they can make a wish. So it's gone from Indiana Jones to the Wizard of Oz, but I don't know. They had a Snow White thing, too, that they did. Snow White special. Angelica was the evil queen, I think. Who is Snow White, then? Susie? That doesn't make any sense. Kimmy? Still doesn't make any sense, though. Who's Kimmy? I'll tell you in the Rugrats in Paris movie. Review. So, anyway. So, eventually, there's also this wolf following them, or a woof, as they say. There's a woof. Hold on. Sorry. It's not building up. I had my nose. It's a good thing, though, because it means I'm getting better, getting out, my system. So anyway, there's a wolf on their trail, and Spike fights the wolf and defeats the wolf, but supposedly dies. So, when the lizard, which is just Stu in the broken Dactar costume, walks up, they're like, Mr. Lizard, we want to go, and they stop. We want our doggy back, which you could say that Spike isn't big in this movie, but he is pretty much one of the main characters in the show. So there's another grandpa joke that gets me when he and Stu first go try to find the babies. Stu is yelling at Grandpa, "How could you fall asleep? supposed to be watching the kids, and it pans over to Grandpa, and he's asleep. So that is funny as hell. But eventually, yeah, they find that Spike is somehow still alive, and then the adults come, and Chucky narrates the ending that they're all happy ever after with Dill, and now because they got Dill, they're able to get stuff easier, like a banana split or something. I don't know. Angelica was hiding cookies earlier in the film, but yeah, and that's that. The animation for this still looks good. I mean, I watched it on my portable because I'm playing video games at the time, but it still looks pretty cool for 1998. And this was a big upgrade from what they started with, and even bigger still than what they would have, because after this it would be revamped for the TV show and then enhanced more after Rugrats in Paris. So they kind of, get better and better. But yeah, as it comes to this, I gotta say, it's to the moon. It's to the moon. This is fantastic. I still have fun with it. I still love the soundtrack. Yeah, we're doing good when it comes to the actual movies. But next, so what are your thoughts on the Rugrats movie? In the comments below, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Next, we're going to look at a forgotten Nickelodeon crossover between two shows that were very popular at the time. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and here it goes.